in order to open the FAI European Gliding Championships in Nitra.
In summer 2005, the Nitran Square witnessed an opening ceremony of the European Gliding Championships. We will introduce you this sport in an unusual documentary view as a sport of international dimensions. The Nitra Aero Club was given the chance to organize this international event. It was managed very well. Although the ceremony was accompanied by rain, this could not frown the faces of the competitors and their families who came to support them. More than 100 pilots from all over Europe have taken part in this competition. Moreover, a Japanese pilot has pushed this competition beyond the European borders. The square was full of passers-by and fans of gliding. After gathering all the teams, the organizers opened the competition and wished a lot of success to all participants. Let's have a look at the atmosphere at the Nitra airport during the competition.
So I declare the 13th FAI European Gliding Championships 2005 for Club Standard and 80-meter class at Nitra open.
Welcome to the Nitra Airport, one of the nicest and best situated airports in Slovakia. It is very suitable for recreational and sport gliding. The position of the airport at suitable meteorological conditions enables pilots to fly over Slovakia in all directions and to admire it from bird's perspective. The inspectors are impatiently waiting for the pilots at the airport. The pilots prepare their planes for a competition flight every morning. Then they join their families at breakfast. Pilots' wives prepare snacks for their husbands in the plane so they don't get hungry during the flight. While some people are relaxing and eating, others long to see the planes in the sky since early morning. Maybe these young girls will become pilots one day. Perhaps they will break the aerial records or they will fly us to our holiday destinations. After a good breakfast, there follows a meeting that we attended with our camera.
Good morning. We start briefing for today.
The basic aim of this morning's briefing is to inform the pilots about meteorological conditions and to make them familiar with competition flight paths for different categories of gliders. There are 3 categories in the competition: Club class, Standard class, and 18-meter class. Each category got a different length of track, and of course, efficiency of the glide planes differs a lot. The pilots are taking notes about the turning around points on their little computer's iPad, which are connected to GPS navigator. Thus, their position on the flight path and the distances from the turning around points can be displayed on the iPad. We have looked into their flight cuisine a bit, but do not tell anyone. Here are the weightmasters. Finally, the great moment has come, weighing the planes. Do not wonder. There is water being filled to the wings of these planes so the pilots can increase the thrust of the plane against headwind. The pilots, motivated by the morning's briefing, are coming to face their beloved and at the same time the detested and relentless weight. In case the plane is heavier than the permitted limit, the amount of water in the wings must be reduced, as we can see it on this glider. Some gliders have additional facilities for cleaning the wings during flight. These are supposed to keep the wing leading edge clean and to minimize the aerodynamic resistance. The planes are slowly coming to the scale, and they fill a runway at the end of the airport. Maybe someone just needs to smile or unveil a little, and the inspectors can easily forget what they were supposed to check. However, we are not going to comment on this. Let us get back to the planes. Here they are. These are the pilots' long-awaited takeoffs into an air match for the fastest flyover of the given track. The airport traffic directors are guiding the tow planes to the starting position. The tow planes are pulling one glider after another into the air to begin their sailing art exhibition on the track set that morning. For your imagination, I must say that the task of the organizers was to pull these 108 gliders up in air in less than 70 minutes. And that means a takeoff of a glider every 38 seconds. I must take my hat off to the airport dispatchers. Now I let you, the experts and admirers of gliding, to enjoy the beauty of the air racers in peace. These are the curious fellas who watch the movement of pilots on internet. Although with a half an hour delay, yet they do. We have also visited the jury room, where all is being written down, judged, counted and planned. These are other important persons who often spend the whole night processing the results of flights. Would you like to know what the wives and friends of the pilots are doing while their birds are flying? We took a look at their privacy, but psst, keep it a secret. This is a situation all pilots fear. Arrival at the mother airport, where atmospheric conditions are not very friendly, makes you feel respect. The coming storm never means anything good, and the pilots get goosebumps when seeing anything like this in front of them during the flight. The gliders have no engine. That is why they have priority in landing before the engine planes. Those can repeat the landing, or they can fly to a safe distance from the storm. Well, my respect goes to the navigational skills of the dispatcher again, who has virtuously directed the gliders during coming storm. So let us have a look at the extreme landings and situations dangerous for human life. Some of the pilots had a hard landing, others did not fly to the end, and they landed at the nearby airport in Prievidza. What more is to say here? Probably nothing.
Все облетел, всю округу, блин, ничего не нашел. Как только сел, сразу, дым.
After the storm, the anchored and parked gliders at the airport in Nitra are waiting for their next competition until next morning. Their pilots are leaving for the night rest too. Well, some do. Some of the machines need an aircraft mechanic and a necessary repair work on the landing gear after hard landings. Here's another morning and the competition day for pilots in an endless 3-week European Gliding Championships 2005. Let us have a look and observe the faces of organizers, pilots, and their staffmen. And here they are. The best machines and their pilots from Europe who are trying their cabins or are just in waiting in the closed cabins for their takeoff. Others are relaxing under a wing of a glider till the very last moment before the start. And the organizers? These are working like bees since early morning. Girlfriends and wives of the pilots may of course not be missing during a takeoff. What sport would be attractive without women moving around? Without them, it is simply impossible. We, I mean men, must admit that we like to be admired by women, and it is a good feeling to know they wish us good luck. And now up and away on the flying razors to another hard fight with sport rivals and nature itself. It is said that soaring on thermal upcurrents is a slog because one never knows if the right upward current will be found. Surprises are nothing unusual during takeoffs. Sometimes a malfunctioning leading gear can raise pilots or organizers' adrenaline too. Of course, such an unpleasant event would bury the hope for a new start in flight, because the plane must be checked again and its ability to fly must be approved.
You have to laugh, don't you?
The pilot was lucky this time, the only damage being a closed undercarriage, but his disappointment at the breakdown was incredible. We have sent our cameraman up in the air with a troop of pilots to show us what it was like up there in those precious moments. It is something to please the pilot's eye with. And here we go. The valuable finishing tape itself and the organizers are expecting arrivals of the participating pilots. Some of the pilots, in literal sense, approach the ground at the speed of 200 kilometers per hour, 2 to 3 meters above the ground, 3 to 4 kilometers from the airport. These planes have ability to glide measured by the rate of 1 to 50. That means they can glide from the height of 1 kilometer to the distance of 50 kilometers. It is unbelievable, but that is what enables pilots to master the competition tracks, which are usually longer than 400 kilometers. If you do not see it, you will not believe it. So let us enjoy the coming of various competition days and thus please the soul of all fans. You have surely asked yourself a question where all these gliders were parked during the 3 weeks of competition. After each flight, the pilots and their families have carefully washed their planes and put them into special trailers. Sometimes this treatment of planes seems too good. Imagine you are being perfectly cared for, all people love you, wash and polish you, they cover you with Teflon paste just to make you look great. While some of the pilots are cleaning their planes already, others are just landing, and they envy those who have their planes washed by now or even have them parked in their trailers. After this ritual cleaning, the pilots enjoy the normal life somewhere near the airport, or even right at the airport. The pilots are discussing the flight day, they compare their results with each other, and they are talking about places where they got during the day. As it is usual anywhere, the main role here is played by good meal and drinks, so that the pilots can relax even after an unsuccessful flight. This evening was an exceptional one, as the championships were ending and all of us were expecting the preliminary evaluations that could outline at least a bit of the final results and give us an idea who the winner will be. The winner was the one who, after the summing up of all competition day's results, was the fastest to fly the given flight tracks. Meanwhile, all of us were enjoying ourselves, eating and drinking till morning came. Let us wait for the results all together. Finally, here's the morning everyone's been waiting for. A talented young pilot named Sebastian Cava has become the European champion in the club class. In the standard class, a neighbor of Slovakia from the Czech Republic, Pavel Lužecký, has become the European champion. In the biggest 18-meter class, the title of the European champion was won by another neighbor of Slovakia from Austria, Wolfgang Janovic.